into Halton News. It's Tuesday, June 9th, and I'm Jessica Kading. Taking a look at the COVID-19 numbers here in Halton today, there are 2 less active cases and 6 more people have recovered since yesterday. Burlington still reporting 16 cases, which remains unchanged since yesterday. Oakville has 31 active cases, Milton 29, and Halton Hills with the lowest reported in the region at 11. With these numbers trending so low, a formal request has now been made to the Premier, Doug Ford, to consider allowing Halton to enter stage 2 of recovery, along with most other parts of the province. Burlington's Mayor Marianne Mead-Ward joins us with those details.
The 4 Halton mayors and regional chair are essentially asking the province to allow us to enter phase 2 reopening. We're ready, our numbers are low. You know, I support a regional approach, I always have, but our numbers are very different than, say, the region of Peel, which includes Mississauga, the region of York, which includes Toronto. We're well below even the provincial average here in Halton. We have 91 active cases and no institutional outbreaks. Our measures have worked. And we really believe that our business community and our residents are ready to proceed to the next phase safely. And that's the key. You know, we've learned already over the last 4 months how to social distance, how to wear masks, how to, you know, stores have figured it out. And so I believe that the stores that will be allowed to open in phase 2 will take the appropriate measures to keep everybody safe. And they should be allowed to get back to business.
Thank you. So when would you expect a response on this?
Well, based on yesterday's statement, the Premier said he would be looking sort of every Monday at a review of what different regions are asking for. So we're the second that I know of that are asking to be included in phase 2. Up in Halton, Norfolk, they had a haircut in on the front lawn of their city hall. So they staged a haircut for all their council members to symbolically ask to be reopened. We didn't do that. We sent a letter.
What about residents who are concerned about moving into stage 2 of recovery, thinking we need to remain cautious and stay in stage 1 for a while longer?
I want to reassure residents who may be wondering if it's the right move to proceed to phase 2, that this is the first key, obviously, for any business is that they have to be able to show that they can keep their employees, their customers safe. And that's employing proper social distancing, proper cleaning, masks. And once they're first and foremost able to show that they can satisfy those health requirements, only then will they be allowed to open. And I know our businesses are ready. I know that they can do that and keep our public and our employees and customers safe. So we need to move to the next phase.
Prior to that letter being written, I had spoken with Oakville MPP Stephen Crawford about why Halton was excluded when the Premier announced all the regions that will enter stage 2 starting on Friday.
The main reason is Halton is really part of the GTA. So it's just so interconnected between the Oshawa-Hamilton region. It's really, you know, one metropolitan area. So within the GTA, Halton is among the best in terms of the lowest number of cases. So that's good news, and it's good to be a resident here for that. We can certainly appreciate everyone, the good work the people of Oakville doing, as well as our health officials. But I'm very confident that we'll be moving forward very soon. If these numbers keep coming down, Halton will be a part of that phase 2 very soon.
I also asked the MPP when he thinks our region may get the green light to go ahead and enter stage 2.
As I mentioned before, I think it will come fairly soon, but it's really dependent on numbers, and it's not dependent on a timeline. So how long we will even be in phase 2 is yet to be determined. I hope it's a short time, but at the end of the day, it'll be what the chief medical officer advises and what the numbers are like. If the COVID numbers are low and trending lower, they're not going to be at 0. But if they're trending in a good direction, then we can open up more and more because people are being responsible. So it's not so much a time frame, it's the numbers. So that's why it's so important to keep a daily check on those COVID numbers coming in.
Despite Halton not moving into stage 2 just yet, the Ontario government's plan to reopen all childcare centres does apply to the Halton region. Premier Doug Ford made this announcement today.
Today, we're providing more information on the next phase of our plan to reopen childcare. Starting Friday, June the 12th, all childcare centres in the province will be allowed to reopen with some restrictions. These restrictions will be just like the ones we've seen in the emergency child care centers open already. There will be limits on the amount of children in the centers at one time. There'll be more screening and more cleaning. and child care centers will be able to reopen once they meet these guidelines. I want parents to know we will take every measure necessary to keep the kids and the staff safe and healthy. And for older children, we know there's been a lot of questions around camps. Summer day camps will also be allowed to open with some restrictions as part of Stage 2.
The Minister of Education explains in more detail what the additional rules and health protocols will be.
Let me lay out our plan that will keep kids safe. First, we are requiring operators to limit the number of kids and staff to a defined space to 10 people. All children, all staff will be screened for symptoms prior to their entry. We will not allow visitors in our centers. All centers will be thoroughly cleaned before opening and throughout the day. On top of this, we're directing the removal of all toys that could easily spread germs. All childcare centers must have a COVID-19 response plan if a child or a parent or staff is exposed to the virus, and is to keep daily attendance records to support contact tracing.
Federally, Parliament is suspended until at least mid-September, and the Conservative Party of Canada is urging the Liberals to change that. Wellington-Halton Hills MP Michael Chong says citizens, including those in his ridings, are concerned as to what exactly is happening in the House of Commons when Parliament isn't in session.
The House of Commons is shut down. Let's be clear. This is not the House of Commons.
What is currently sitting is a special committee. This special committee has virtually no power. It only has the power to ask questions, it has the power to make statements, and it has the power to present petitions. That's it. Hundreds of billions of dollars are going out the door without any parliamentary or very little parliamentary oversight. In fact, the government is seeking approval for some $87 billion in spending next week, and they've allocated only 4 hours to debate this spending. So we are strongly of the view that, sure, for March and April, it was appropriate to give the government unfettered powers to spend and to do what they needed to do during the early days of this pandemic. Now that we have greater clarity on the extent of this pandemic and what it means, we really believe that the government needs to bring Parliament back, that we need to sit in order to hold the government accountable. And look, at the end of the day, democracies are about not just holding government accountable, they are about improving government outcomes through criticism, through debate, through questions, through accountability. And so if we're serious about saving lives from COVID-19, if we're serious about saving livelihoods and restoring our economy, then Parliament needs to get back to work.
Parliament sat through 2 world wars, the October crisis, and previous pandemics, and it survived the test, but not now. The people's representatives need to sit. The people need their representation. Parliament and this House of Commons, with its full powers, needs to reopen, and it needs to reopen now.
Although calls to the COVID-19 hotlines have gone down and more people are becoming accepting of our current reality, Halton Police are still out there making sure we follow those rules. Constable Ryan Anderson says that he's talked to many people on patrol and can certainly understand some of their frustrations.
I think understandably people are a little bit, they've had enough. I think, you know, and I certainly understand that sentiment. I think it varies. Some people obviously, you know, are very committed to it, and some people are probably, with the weather changing and it's been a long time, and they're ready to get out and enjoy themselves and see family, and those are certainly things that we understand, and you know, we try to do education over enforcement, and that's the approach we've taken since day one, and it's the approach we're still taking. It's kind of difficult to measure outside of the calls. I mean, because most of the parks and places people will be gathering are still closed, so they're not able to, you know, we don't have a big surge of people sneaking into places where they shouldn't been. People have been pretty respectful of the rules, and they're aware of them, and they're working within those rules and trying to find ways to you know, survive in this, you know, bizarre time that we're in.
But what about Constable Anderson? How is he coping? We asked him that very question, and he did have some concerns that many of us can relate to.
Well, I haven't had a haircut in about 4 months. But I can't complain. I'm fortunate to have a little bit of a backyard space for my kids, and we can get them out, get them exercise out there. And certainly, like everybody else, though, miss my family and miss my coworkers, and looking forward to getting out there. And hockey, miss playing hockey too. Haven't played hockey. We never finished our playoffs, so.
If you've had a book or other library material checked out, it may be time to return it. The Burlington Public Library is preparing to reopen the doors of 2 of their branches. Nikki Wesley reports.
Rejoice, book lovers! The Burlington Public Library, that's been closed to the public since March 13th, is preparing to open its doors again.
But we're on the cusp of welcoming people back into our buildings, which is very exciting for us. So next Tuesday, June 16th, we're going to be starting a Holds Pickup service here at the Central Library and at our Tansley Woods branch. Just in terms of the requirements of COVID-19, we've tried to make that process as easy and safe for our staff and the community as possible. So we've reconfigured our entire lobby and brought all of our holds out from the back room and made them available. Lots of community members that are eagerly awaiting their holds. Many of them are holds that people have been waiting for very patiently since the middle of March.
The first step is going to their website at bpl.on.ca to place a hold on a book. You'll then receive an email when your book is ready for pickup. Books that will be on hold for branches north of the QEW will be available at the Tansley Woods branch, and all holds placed at the branches south of the QEW will be available for pickup at Central.
We're going to welcome customers in. They're going to scan their library card, and then we'll be able to tell what items are on hold for them. We'll retrieve those items and leave them for them to pick up, and before they know it, they'll be home reading their next great read.
Books that are returned to the library will not be going back into circulation for a recommended 3 days.
We remove the items from the book drop, and then we have a quarantine area where we're leaving that material for the 3 days, and then the material is checked in at that point.
I'm standing here at the back entrance to the library, which is where customers will want to come to pick up their holds. While speaking with Lita, she shared with me that an unprecedented number of folks created online library cards during the pandemic, and the ebook and audiobook loans were through the roof.
Sure. So we've seen huge increases in a lot of our digital collection areas. So I think last month our ebooks checkouts exceeded about 31,000, which is a big increase for us. We've had some great partnerships with some of our vendors that provide our collections for us. So, for example, we have a database called Tumble Books that's lots of great interactive picture books, and I think for 1 month our circulation went up about 1,000% there because we had so many kids that were able to easily access that collection from home. But we've definitely had people try our digital collections that never thought they would want to try and read an ebook, and they're actually finding that they are loving it. So we've had our members of our team helping people through our online form and via telephone, helping them set up how to use ebooks for the very first time. And we've had, I think our oldest customer to do that was 94, who read her first ebook. So it's been really great where we can, helping people access the collection in new ways.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
We need to take a short break. We'll be back with an interesting segment where a local psychiatrist explains the importance of fitness for your brain. More on that next. Welcome back to Halton News. We all know the importance and benefits of exercise and fitness for our bodies, but what about brain fitness? Dr. Bhattacharya explains how to keep your brain in shape.
Hi, this is Dr. Ashik Bhattacharya from the Empathy Clinic in Oakville, talking to you during the pandemic crisis. So I want to talk about brain fitness today. So back in med school, I was also an aerobics instructor to put myself through. And I noticed at the end of those 90-minute classes, there was lots of laughter and fun. And that, I thought, was a great way to push away the blues or anxiety. So the way I look at the brain, it can also be compared to a series of muscles. And it's really important to exercise all of those muscles so you can have brain fitness. So the front part of your brain is the thinking part of your brain. It's a big muscle. The next comes the motor part of the brain, which looks after moving your legs and your arms and controlling your movement. In the back, we have sensory processing and balance. And in the deep part of the brain, we have an area that looks after emotions and controls memory processing. People have a tendency to ruminate a lot, and rumination is partly mental rehearsing over and over again to get things perfect. But that's not very good if you're trying to fall asleep. So it's a really good practice to know how to shut off the front part of your brain so you can give the other parts of the brain a chance to do their exercise and get some brain fitness. So meditation or breathing exercises or yoga class or Tai Chi or something like that can be very, very helpful to shut off the front part of your brain. Especially you can do it with a friend or a partner. It makes it more fun. Physical exercise, as I said before, is a wonderful way to exercise your motor cortex. It also works as a natural antidepressant too. Practicing balance, like riding a bicycle or even standing on one leg, as long as you don't fall down, of course, is a wonderful way to fire up the back part of your brain. We also have two halves to our brain. We have a left side and a right side. Now, if you spend too long on one side of the brain, we can get very stressed, fatigued, and tired. We can even stop caring about what we're focused on if we don't give that part of the brain a break. So the left part of our brain takes care of logical thinking and ordering. Also linear thinking, like which light bulb has gone out if you're putting up your Christmas tree. It figures out math and facts and also how to come up with sentences and words. The right part of the brain takes care of imagination and concepts, intuition, art and music, as well as nonverbal communication, which is figuring out what someone said aside from the words that they used. Also looks after feelings and daydreaming. So both halves of the brain like to be active at different parts of the day. It's a great idea to keep going back and forth from the left to the right side of your brain to give both parts a break. Your brain loves to do that. And also, guess what? You sleep a whole lot better. So grab a friend, grab a loved one, or do a Zoom video if you prefer. And that way you can practice brain fitness today, sleep well, and stay safe. Take care.
Taking a look at our marina here, beautiful in Oakville on this hot day. The heat warning was in effect all day today and remains in effect into tomorrow with the additional risk of a thunderstorm. 30 degrees again tomorrow, very high UV index. Please do protect your skin and stay out of the heat if you can. Looking into Thursday, 30% chance of rain showers, otherwise cloudy skies Thursday. Temperature dropping, only reaching a high of 15 by Friday. Staying around that for Saturday, it's only 16 degrees with a chance of showers. Otherwise, a mix of sun and cloud is expected both Saturday and Sunday, but cooler temperatures this weekend than we've been experiencing lately. The restaurant industry has been particularly hard hit during the COVID-19 restrictions. Tonight on The Issue, the topic is Burlington restaurants, an industry in jeopardy. Join hosts Mark Carr and Angelo Bentivegna and their guests tonight at 8 p.m. as they engage in this topical discussion. The Milton Chamber is hosting another webinar this Thursday at 9:30. With most people working from home, hackers have become more aggressive. In this webinar, which is free for members, Robert Duval of RDC Networks will debunk some common myths, discuss the top 5 computer viruses in 2020, review cybersecurity best practices, and offer tips to protect yourself. To register, please visit miltonchamber.com. The Milton Chamber recently held a mental health webinar as well, which will be airing tomorrow at 3 p.m. if you want to tune in. Stride and the Canadian Mental Health Association have come together to talk about mental health during the pandemic. And now a look to how our local companies have done in today's Market Watch. For those of you who know the Bowser Babes, otherwise known as the Burlington Old Timers Women Supplying Emergency Relief, well, we have an update for you after the break. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us here on Halton News. I'm Jessica Kading, and the Burlington Food Bank has another update for us today. It was 29 years ago that the Burlington Old Timers Women Supplying Emergency Relief, otherwise known as the Bowser's Babes, started supporting the Burlington Food Bank week after week, year after year, collecting money in local hockey arenas to support the food bank and all the people who benefit from their services.
Today we just wanted to thank the Bowser Babes, who are an ongoing partner of ours here at the Burlington Food Bank. There were some ladies who were part of the Burlington Old Timers Hockey Club. Their husbands played, and they decided that they would start raising food and raising funds for us here at the Burlington Food Bank a number of years ago. And we want to thank them for the many years of their fundraising and food raising that they did for us. We really, really appreciate it, and we just found out that they're going to be retiring. And so we wanted to thank you for the many years of serving, and also to let you know that we're already working on trying to fill some gaps to be able to continue this great organization's sort of vision for what we could do here at the Burlington Food Bank. Again, we want to thank the many ladies who are helping out with the Bowser Babes, collecting food and collecting money for us here at the food bank. We also want to thank our monthly donors who help out every single month with some as little as $5 and some substantially higher than $5 each month. Each one of those help us, and it warms my heart whenever I see those donations because we get notified every time one comes in. So if you want to become a monthly donor for us here at the Burlington Food Bank, just go to our website and you can choose that monthly option as well. Thanks again so much to the community of Burlington for all the support that you continue to give us.
For those of you wanting to switch up your dinner menu, you can support the Oakville Legion this Friday by purchasing fish and chips for dinner. Prices start at $10. All ages are welcome. The Oakville Legion is located at 36 Upper Middle Road in Oakville. The food will be served at 4 p.m. For more information, please call 905-845-6271. The Museums of Burlington are pleased to offer a new program for kids. Virtual visits are daily one-hour Zoom sessions featuring live instruction by a museum instructor and educator who will guide a series of creative, fun, hands-on structured activities and crafts that relate to a weekly theme. The first week's theme is mysteries, myths, and monsters. I'd like to thank you so much for tuning in tonight. You can follow us on social media at Your TV Halton. You can also find us on yourtv.tv. For Halton News, I'm Jessica Keating. Thanks for watching.